So this class today is Vin Yin Core. So we have some new people. So we'll start out with just a seated meditation, breathing, a little warm up, and then we'll move through some vinyasa flows, some sun salutations, maybe doing one or two challenging poses, but you don't have to do them. There'll always be options. And then we'll do a little bit of core work and then finish with some deep stretching. So deep relaxation, deep stretching. All right, so just let's start on our knees. So as long as you don't have bad knees and as long as it's comfortable, we'll just start sitting back on your knees. If it's uncomfortable, you can just sit cross-legged. All right, go ahead and roll your shoulders up and back a few times. And we'll just take our hands behind our back, interlace the hands, draw the shoulders down and back, just sitting up nice and tall. So this is really good for just countering all the forward hunching that we do over our phones, computers, driving. So just taking a few breaths here. Starting to lengthen your breath. And then when you're ready, you can just release your hands. If you want, roll your head and neck out once or twice. And then either close your eyes or just soften your gaze looking out at the water. Feel yourself sitting up nice and straight. As you inhale, feel your belly fill up with air, your chest rise. And then as you exhale, just feel your chest drop, your ribs knit together, your belly emptying out. With each breath, kind of just let go of anything that's weighing on your mind. And really start to become present. Using your breath to just help relax your body, just help calm your mind. Taking a moment to really just notice what it feels like to be here in this space right now. So noticing any sounds from the outdoors, from the marina, the water, feeling the slightly cooler air as the sun's setting, the light breeze on our skin. And just embracing all of this as part of our practice tonight, part of our experience. Take a moment and just set an intention for a class before we start. And then you can slowly open up your eyes. We're going to reach our arms out long, and we're going to do a seated cat-cow stretch. So on an inhale, you're going to bring your chest forward, look up, arch your back, and then on an exhale, you're going to round. So round your back, round your shoulders, bringing your chin to your chest. Moving through these two movements with your breath at your own pace. Inhale to open up, looking up to the beautiful blue sky. Good. Exhale, rounding the spine. Let's do that once or twice more. So we'll inhale, open up one more time. Good. Exhale, round. From here, we're just going to come onto our hands and knees. So we're going to actually transition into downward facing dog. So spread out your fingertips, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back. Just stretch it out. So it's important you have your fingers spread out so that you protect your wrists. And you have a strong base in your hands as well as your feet. So heel toeing your feet here, bending one knee a lot, pressing the heel down, and then straightening the other leg. So walking your dog. Maybe bending both knees a lot, sending the hips up and back just to find some movement. And then coming up onto the tiptoes. So really just kind of stretching it out here. And then we'll walk our feet up to our hands to come to a ragdoll forward fold. So keeping a nice bend in your knees. Relax the shoulders, relax your arms, relax your head and neck. Lift up through the hips to go deeper, sending your body weight a little bit forward. And then we'll inhale to come to a half lift, straightening your legs, drawing your shoulders back, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold forward deeper. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. Good. Exhale, fold forward. So really waking up the back of the legs. 1 more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. And then next one, we're going to come all the way up. So reaching the arms either forward or out to the side. Find length, extended mountain pose. Reach. Good. And then exhale, hands to heart center. From here, we'll come to the front of our mat, and we're going to move through about 3 rounds of sun salutation A. So let's inhale, reach up. Moving with your breath, exhale to fold forward. We'll come to a half lift on an inhale, and then exhale, bend your knees. Plant your hands, step back to a plank. Just pause here, draw the shoulders apart, lift up through the core nice and strong. And we'll lower down all the way to our stomach for the first one. Cobra pose, draw the shoulders back, lift up your head, neck, and chest, little back bend. Good. Exhale, come back down, and make your way back into a downward facing dog. So we'll be here about 5 breaths. Relaxing your head and neck here, chins towards your chest. Coming back to your breath. And then from here, bending the knees, looking up to your hands, and you can bring your feet up to your hands, coming into a half lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward deeper. And then next inhale, we'll make our way all the way up, finding length. If you want, maybe even reaching back this time, expanding a little bit more, looking up to the sky. Good. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Same thing again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Good. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, coming back to a plank. We'll come all the way to our stomach again, so lower down chaturanga. We're going to come to a locust pose this time. So you can interlace your hands behind your back, lift up your chest, lift up the tops of your feet. Good. About 3 more deep breaths. Exhale, make your way back down, and we'll come back into a downward facing dog. Reset here. Come back to your breath. You can always take a child's pose instead of downward facing dog too, if that feels better. And then you can bend your knees, look up to your hands, walk, step, or maybe even try a light hop, bringing the feet up to the hands, coming into a half lift. Exhale, folding deeper. Next, inhale, find length, energy through the arms, reach up. Either just holding it here or reaching back a little bit. And then exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to do 1 more, exact same thing, really warming up the body. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, make your way to a plank. Take your time. Maybe this time you come to an up dog. So up dog with straight arms, just the tops of the feet on the mat. Draw the shoulders back if that feels okay for your back. And then exhale, downward facing dog, about 3 to 5 deep breaths. So settling in. Good, and then from here, bending the knees, looking up to the hands, and then bringing the feet up to the hands, coming into a half lift. Folding forward again, and then we'll make our way all the way up. Maybe back. Hands back down to heart center. All right, very good. So we're going to go through a few more flows. So let's start out in chair pose. Whenever you're ready, feet close together, bend your knees, sit back, and then reach the arms up, Draw the shoulders back. Deep breath. When you're ready, we'll exhale, fold forward. Moving through a vinyasa again, so half lift. Bend your knees, plant your hands, stepping back to a plank. Lowering down, you choosing maybe a cobra or an up dog. Coming into downward facing dog. We're going to stretch it out, so three-legged down dog. Reach the right leg up. If you're on the top deck, just be aware of the bars behind you. Stretch that leg up nice and high. Heels up towards the sky. We're going to do a little bit of core work, so 3 rounds. You're going to inhale, exhale, come forward, knee to nose. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. We're going to do one more. This time, bring that foot all the way through. Knee to nose, and then foot through between your hands. Spin the back heel down. We're going to come into a warrior one. Whenever you're ready, front heel is in the middle of the back foot. Hips square to the front, reach up. You can always option to bend that foot, or straighten the front knee and then work towards getting a nice bend in that knee. Good. Deep breath. We'll open up to warrior two. So arms come out to the long edge of the mat, looking towards your right finger, sinking again into that front knee, that front hip. Reverse warrior, flip the front palm up, reach up, reach back, keeping a bend in that knee. Good. Coming back to warrior two, we're going to come to extended side angle pose. So you're going to reach forward, bringing the forearm above the knee, top arm reaches up. So I'm just going to turn so I can face you guys. So this is level one, option to stay here. If you want to go deeper, you're going to bring that arm forward, so you're extending through the arm. If you're more flexible, you want to bring the fingertips all the way down to the mat, you can try bringing the fingertips all the way down to the mat inside your foot. Deep breaths. Good. All right, from here we're going to bring both hands down. We're going to lift that back heel up, step back. We're going through a vinyasa, just the same thing on the other side. So lowering down, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming into a three-legged down dog on the other side when you're ready. So lift that left leg up. Stretch it out. Heels up towards the sky. And then we're going to do 3 times, 3 rounds. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose, round in the back. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach. This time, knee to nose, and then bring that foot as far through as you can between the hands. Spin the back heel down. Setting up, front knees over your ankle. Pressing through that back foot. Making your way up to warrior one on the other side. Good. Coming back to your breath. This dog looks like he's having a blast too. Oh, okay. And then we'll open up warrior two. And then flip your front palm up, back hand down, reach up and back. Good. We'll come back to warrior two, coming to extended side angle, reaching forward, bringing the forearm above the knee. Open up that top arm. Maybe bring it forward so the biceps towards the ear, really extending. And maybe just focus on staying here, having a really good stretch here. Or if you want more of a challenge, bring the fingertips all the way down. If you're a little bit more flexible, deep breaths. And then you can bring both hands down. We'll step that front foot back, moving through a vinyasa. So lowering down chaturanga to an up dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Few deep breaths. From here, we're going to come to a three-legged down dog again. So reach that right leg up. Heels up towards the sky. And we're going to do that same core work. So inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach and lengthen. So this movement helps you get that foot through between the hands. That's something you're working on. Last one, bring that foot all the way through between the hands. We're coming to warrior one. So we're going to do the same thing as before, but just kind of adding on some variations. Draw the shoulders back, reach up. From here, we're going to take our hands, interlace them behind our back, and we're setting up for humble warrior. So you're going to start to hinge forward, and your chest is going to go inside the knee. Relax your head and neck, and if possible, allow the arms to come up. Good. And then you can bring your hands back to your lower back. Slowly make your way up just briefly into warrior one, and we're going to open up to warrior two. Just going to turn so I'm facing you guys. Good. Arms out long. Reverse warrior, flipping the front palm up, back hand down, reach up and back. Coming back into extended side angle, so reaching forward, form above the knee, opening the top arm. So maybe trying to go a little bit further than you went last time. Maybe extending that arm forward. Maybe trying to bring the fingertips down. If you brought the fingertips down last time, maybe trying for a bind. So that's going to be taking the top hand behind your lower back, arms underneath the shoulder, seeing if your fingertips can touch. If that is not something that seems accessible to you, don't worry about it. It's just an option. You can stay right here, no problem. All right, good. So go ahead, take your time, release. We're going to move through a vinyasa. Same thing on the other side. So step back to a plank, lower down, move through an up dog or cobra, back into downward facing dog, coming into three-legged down dog, other side. So same thing, other side. Left leg reaches up. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Bring that knee up high, coming forward on the right toe. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, you're going to bring that foot all the way through. We're setting up for warrior one again. So take your time, make your way up, find your balance. Good. And then we'll interlace our hands behind our back, draw the shoulders down and back, and slowly making your way forward, chest inside that knee. Relax the head down, so chins towards the chest. If it feels okay, lift the arms up, lift the shoulders up. Few deep breaths. Take your time, bring your hands back to your lower back, make your way up, just warrior one briefly, and then warrior two. Good. We'll come to reverse warrior, flipping up the front palm, back hand down, reach up and back. Good. And then one more time, extended side angle, taking whatever variation you tried on the other side maybe. Maybe just staying here if this feels like a really good stretch and what you need. If you want to push yourself to go further, bringing the hands down, or maybe just for fun, trying that bind, bringing the shoulders underneath the arm. Still opening up that right shoulder, looking over top of it if you're in the bind. It's fun just to try it, even if it's, opposite arm. Yeah, so this goes under, yeah. Yes, good. All right, go ahead and make your way out of it. Let's just step back to a downward facing dog. And then we're going to come down, take a child's pose. So maybe grab a drink of water here. Good job. All right, so whenever you're ready, we're going to come back into a downward facing dog. So make your way back into downward facing dog. coming into three-legged down dog. Reach that right leg up. Bend the knee, open up your hip. So option here is going to be either to stay right here with the knee bent, opening the hip, or something we don't do very much is to do a flip dog. So it's to bring that foot behind you, reach up. If you want. This is just an option. Something we don't do very much. It's a little bit more advanced, maybe. All right, one more breath. And it's, yeah, it feels funny up on the top deck. And then you're going to come back to a plank. So from here, we're going to get a little bit more into the core. You're going to come onto your right side. So for more balance, you're going to stagger the feet to lift up. Or you can drop that bottom knee down. Or for more of a challenge, stack the feet. So 3 options. We're going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3. Good job. 2, 1. Come back to a downward facing dog. We're going to do the other side. All right, left leg reaches up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. So option, you can just stay here for about 5 deep breaths. This is a great stretch. If you want to try the flip dog, you're going to bring that foot behind you. Reach the other arm up towards the sky. Good. You got it. We're going to make our way back, coming to a plank. You're fine. And then side plank option. So it can be like this. It can be feet staggered or stacked. It's just kind of a little extra challenge for 5, 4, good, 3, 2, 1. Come back through to the center, drop the knees. We'll make our way to a seat. Right? Little extra challenge today just for fun. All right, we're going to do a little bit more core, and then we're going to come to the relaxing part. All right, so we're going to set it for a boat pose. So kind of sitting back, knees are bent, drawing the shoulders back, and we're going to do a few different exercises with boat pose. So first option, you can keep the feet down or just point the toes, or you can bring the feet straight forward, and we're just going to twist. So just moving from one side to the other, just really moving the arms, keeping the core still, knees in towards you. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just come forward, hugging your knees in towards your chest. Good. All right, from here, we're going to get a little bit more into crunches. So take your hands behind you. We're going to lift the toes up, straighten the arms, and then from here, we're going to straighten the feet, bend the arms back, and then come up. We're going to go a little bit faster. All right, let's do 8, 7, 6, 5. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Good. Hugging the knees in towards your chest. Great job. All right, the last one is probably the hardest one, but it's slow. So we're going to hold it. So reach your arms forward. Bring your feet maybe straight in front of you. Option to bring the hands behind your thighs to kind of help keep everything lifted. We're going to hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're lowering down and we're going to hold it. Shoulders stay up. Straighten the legs for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do 2 more. So make your way up. Hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more set. Embrace the shakiness for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set for 4, 3, 2. Make your way back up on 1. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Grab a drink of water. All right. Whenever you're ready, we are going to come to a child's pose. So we're going to kind of just transition into the second half of class. And it's the yin part of class. The first part of class is the yang part of class. So it's going to be just a lot slower. So just taking your knees apart, sitting back towards your heels, just sitting in the middle of your mat. Reach your arms forward and relax your forehead down. For the second half of class, each pose we're going to hold at least 3 minutes. But we're doing, again, specific poses. So we're not going to try to hold like a plank for 3 minutes or something like that. And use this time to just kind of come back to your breath. Maybe try to find that quietness, that stillness in your body and in your mind. And try to just kind of tune into your body. Notice where you're feeling this stretch in your body. And you want to try to allow the muscles that you feel the stretch in to actually release and relax. A lot of times in yoga, we flex and we tense the muscles to try to go deeper. But for this yin style yoga, we're going to actually let the muscles soften because we're holding it longer and trying to access the tissues that are beyond the muscle tissues. The tissues and the ligaments and the joints. So we're going to stay in the child's pose. We're just going to take a little variation. So you can walk your hands over to the right side just to come to a child's pose twist. If you want, bringing the left hand on top of the right hand and bringing your forehead back down. And then just take your time to walk your hands back through to the center and then over to the other side. Maybe bringing your opposite hand on top of your other hand. Settling back into the pose. And then you can walk your hands back through to the center and then just start to walk your hands up, just moving nice and slow. We'll take a counter stretch, just bringing a counter pose, knees together. Child's pose with our hands behind us this time to release the shoulders and then bring your head back down. Just staying here for about 3 to 5 breaths. And then you can slowly make your way up. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. The top deck, you might want to be a little bit staggered. We're going to take our right foot out to the side. Yeah. All right, so pressing the whole pad of that foot down, we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow here. So just inhale to drop your belly, lift your chest, and then exhale to round your back. So just cat-cow with also getting a little bit of a stretch in the legs. We'll do one more cat-cow. And then you can come all the way up on your knees. We're going to take our right hand down by the right leg that's out long, reach up with your left arm, and we're just going to come to a side stretch. So just reaching up and over to your right side, stretching out the obliques and the whole side of your body. Coming back to your breath here. All right, very good. So from here, we're going to come back forward, and then you're going to sit back all the way towards your knee, as long as that feels okay. And then come down onto your forearms and just stay here, or you can even stretch the hands out, bring your forehead down. And we'll stay here for about another minute or so. About 2 more deep breaths. And then you can walk your hands back, make your way up, and we'll just set up for the other side. So just taking the other leg out long. A few rounds of cat-cow pose on this side. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way up, coming to that side stretch. So left hand down the left leg, reach up and over to the leg that's out long. Yes. And just kind of noticing if this side feels much different than the other side, if it's a little bit tighter. And then we can make our way back to the center, and we're going to slowly sit back towards our heel, maybe coming down on the forearms, or you can even just reach the arms forward, bringing your forehead all the way down. About 2 more deep breaths. And then take your time to walk your hands back. Slowly make your way out of the pose. We'll come back to a seat, grabbing a drink of water if you need water. And we're just going to set up for a seated forward fold. So you can start out with the legs in front of you. Draw your shoulders back, just sitting up tall, maybe removing any flesh out from underneath you so that you really kind of connect with your sit bones. So if we're normally holding a pose for just like a few breaths, we would flex our feet, but because we're holding it longer, we're going to keep our feet a little bit more relaxed. And then we're just going to start to slowly make our way forward. So starting out hinging from the hips. And then you can start to relax your shoulders, round your back, kind of just let your head relax down. Different variations. So if this is like too much bending forward for your back, you can always just kind of keep your chest lifted. You can have a little bend in the knees if your hamstrings are tight too. Just kind of trying to make it feel better for your body. But take a moment in this pose and just kind of notice where you're feeling the stretch. So it's mostly targeting the hamstring muscles underneath the legs. Notice if you kind of are feeling it anywhere else as well. And then just consciously start to, well, you want to allow those muscles to relax, but still get a good stretch. So you want to find your edge, but that edge being where you're feeling a good stretch, but you're not tensing up your muscles too much. Coming back to your breath. Seeing if you can go a little bit further now that we've held it longer. And just try to find some stillness. So whereas the first part of class is all about moving, this second half of class is all about stillness and deep stretching. And the idea with doing both of those types of yoga together is that our body needs both of them. And then when we combine them together, it creates balance, like yin and yang. We'll be here about 3 more deep breaths. And slowly just taking your time to walk your hands back. So you might feel just like a little stiff right afterwards, but usually that'll go away pretty quickly. So we'll just bend our knees, windshield wiper, knees side to side, kind of sitting back, allowing our back to release. And then we'll come to a reverse tabletop as our counter stretch. So bringing the heels in towards you, hands behind you, fingers facing you, lifting the hips up nice and high. Allow your head to drop back. That feels okay. About 5 deep breaths. And then you can slowly lower down. All right, so next we're going to set up for a pigeon pose. So pigeon pose is a deep hip stretch, but you always have the option, instead of pigeon pose, to do like a figure 4 stretch like this. So it stretches the same muscles, just less intense. So if you decide in the pigeon pose you'd rather do that, that's totally fine. If you want to do the pigeon pose, we'll start on our hands and knees. If you want to, you can start in a down dog, but we'll take our right knee behind our right wrist, walk that foot over to the side, back knee back. All right, so just setting up for our pigeon pose here. Draw the shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen through your spine for 1 or 2 breaths. And then we're going to make our way down to a resting pigeon. So resting either on your forearms, or you can stretch the arms out all the way, bringing the forehead down. Good. Or like I said, if you choose, you can come to a figure 4 stretch instead. So from here, just kind of checking in, noticing where you feel the stretch, and then trying to allow those muscles to relax. Also noticing if, because this is a deep stretch, notice if you're tensing up anywhere else in your body. So a lot of times they say the hips are connected to other parts of the body, so notice if you're like scrunching up your face or if anything else is tense, and try to just soften, relax, release into the pose. And about 2 more deep breaths here. And then you can take your time to make your way out, walk your hands back. And then either just coming out in your hands and knees, or you can tuck your toe, come out into a downward facing dog, and just kind of stretching it out a little bit in downward facing dog, stretching out the legs. Or just on your hands and knees, bringing one leg back, stretching it out long. From here, we'll set up for the other side, either starting in the 3-legged down dog, bringing the knee behind the wrist, or just tabletop, bringing the knee behind the wrist, foot over to the side, back knee back. Maybe pausing in an upright pigeon, lengthen through the spine, and then you can make your way down to resting pigeon. I'm just checking in, noticing how this side feels compared to the other side. And then reminding yourself to just let go into the pose, to remind your body to release, relax. If it's not, pose isn't working for you, you can always switch and do something else, like the figure 4. And then we'll take about 3 more deep breaths in the pose. When you're ready, taking your time to make your way out, just moving nice and slow. And then either coming out on your hands and knees or coming into a downward facing dog, stretching it out from either position, just where you may be working the legs back. And then when you're ready, we'll come to a seat. Grab a drink of water. Such a pretty time of night when it's still like this and the sky starts to kind of turn that pink and blue. It doesn't seem to do that when it's real windy as much. All right, and then we're going to come onto our back and finish on our back. So once you're on your back, just hug your knees into your chest and maybe rock side to side or in a few little circles. And we're just going to finish with the lying down twist. So you're going to take both knees and then just drop them over towards your right side. Let them relax down, relaxing your right hand maybe on top of the knees. Your left arm can be bent up overhead. Kind of just relax on the mat up overhead, looking up towards the sky, or maybe a little bit in the opposite direction of your knees. And the twisting being a nice stretch for your spine and for your back. And stretching out your hips is actually good for your back as well, because a lot of times back problems are caused by having tight hips. And then you can take your time to bring your knees back through to the center. And then we'll bring our knees up towards our chest and up and over to the other side, allowing them to relax down to the side. Maybe your left hand is relaxed on the knee. Right arm, it can be out long if you want, or just kind of bent at the elbow up overhead.
Are you sleeping?
And then you can make your way back through to the center. We'll stretch it out long. So straightening the legs out. Reach your arms up overhead. Stretch it out. All right, so we're going to finish with just a brief Shavasana. So just relaxation pose. Just finding a comfortable position. Maybe allowing your back to lie flat for the last minute or two of class. Feet to naturally open out to the side. Get out kind of any last minute fidgeting and try to come to a place of stillness. And from here, take a nice deep inhale in through your nose. Complete exhale out through your mouth. Again, nice deep inhale in through your nose. Complete exhale. And then just start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe roll out the ankles, roll out the wrists a few times. And then you can bend your knees, stretch your arms up overhead again. Like you're just waking up or reawakening. And roll onto one side, just pausing there for maybe 2 or 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, making your way all the way up to a seat. And then we'll just finish by bringing our hands to our heart center. We'll take one more deep inhale to reach our arms out and up. Pressing the palms together, bring your hands back down to your heart center. And just take a moment to kind of just reflect on your practice. Thanking yourself for coming out tonight for this beautiful evening. And and just allowing the positive energy that you feel from class to be a benefit to yourself and the people around you throughout the evening and throughout the day tomorrow. Namaste. Thank you guys. Very good.